listening to a QLB Media Group podcast.
He just gonna start like that, really.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to We Just Talking Ish. I'm Patria, and we have my lovely co-hosts, Quentin and Rosa, aka Mahogany XR.
Definitely X-rated today, so I'm gonna try to.
How, Sway? This is episode 8, the therapy episode. It's going to be therapeutically X-rated, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, one of y'all gonna take it there anyway, because as I stated in my Facebook post today, I'm the angel of the three of us. And I keep everything holy and acceptable here on We Just Talking Ish.
Holy, got it.
And acceptable.
Okay. We'll let you take that title if you want to.
It is mine.
That must be the personality of today.
Well, all 17 of us have been redeemed, excuse you. So it could be any one of us.
Y'all have been cleared, not redeemed. Y'all have been cleared.
Redeemed.
Of all charges.
May the redeemed of the Lord say so. So. Anybody else want to say so? So. Okay, that's cool. How are you guys? How was your week?
Mine was pretty good. As I was telling y'all, I almost got somebody tried to catfish me on TikTok. Yep. And he from overseas. He got to be because he was supposed to be a young black man that was serving in the military. Had supposedly, now the picture that he posting is of a young black man. Unfortunately, what he did not know was this young man was a friend of my son.
Wow.
In the military. And he was trying to so-called holler. He said he had been in the military 17 years. First of all, that baby ain't been in the world that long to be in the military 17 years.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and he told me what really gave it away. The funniest thing he said, I asked him what was his hobbies. He said that he likes to surf on the beach. And he goes surfing every Saturday. But mind you, he said he said no, but he's stationed in West Africa. Yep. So then he
maybe he meant on the Oculus. Maybe he surfs on the beach on the Oculus.
Then he says that he likes horse racing. When I heard that, I thought he was going to say that he was a gambler, but he said he used to be a jockey in high school.
So he's short.
Where in the United States did you learn how to jockey?
In
as a black
school.
Man?
Well, in school.
In high school.
Okay. Well, he need to fry his catfish a little longer.
When I got through with him, I said, "Sir, that was fun. It was nice knowing you, but let me tell you the truth. First of all, you need to learn the vernacular of a black man in the U.S. Because everything you said was all off." But yeah, other than that, my normal track mom doing my track thing with the kitties.
I like watching you run, but we'll say that for later. Q, how was
you? My bed broke again.
Shouldn't have been jumping in it, little monkey.
So humping in it. So I went and bought some those little slip mat thingies, and the bed slipped off the slip mat thingies. So now I got to figure out how to stop the bed from scooting across the floor.
First of all, I'm gonna need you to stop acting like this is WCW. That's what I'm gonna need you to stop doing.
Let's get ready to rumble. Coming.
You need to put your bed on
Quentin.
some
Slip and slide on the slats. Berkeley.
I'm gonna get an area rug.
Then you gonna have rug burn.
Area rug put underneath the bed frame.
So it doesn't slide.
Yeah.
Whatever is clever. Well.
Okay. I don't know how that's gonna work though.
He'll let us know.
Yeah.
Next thing gonna say, we went through the wall. Cause it slid off the rug.
Lord. Well, I didn't break any beds.
Good for
I
you.
didn't get catfished this week. None of
Did
that.
you pull out any mainstay?
I did not
Shower
do any of
curtains.
that either.
Wait a minute. Didn't your son go on a date this week?
It's a new week. Let's focus on this week.
Yeah. Real quick, let's talk about
All right, so he did, y'all. He went to the movies.
the
with
oldest one, right?
Yes, my oldest one. He went to the movies with his girlfriend. They went to see Morbius. Her mom went as well, and he said it was really fun. And I was depressed about it, but it's okay because he's still 5. He was like, yeah, 5 times 3, mama, but whatever.
Look, and 6'5".
He ain't that tall yet. But yeah. So I'm still processing where we are in life because
I remember when I went on my first date.
I do too. And my first date was at the movie, and my first time was at the movies too. So, I was real stressed out.
I don't think I was your son's age, but I went to go see Drumline. And then after the movies, we was on the movie theater floor. This was before recliner seats was popular.
Yeah. My first date and my first time wasn't at the same time, by the way. Either.
Yes, Rosa. We was on the floor.
She was too stunned to speak.
We was on the floor of the...
Yeah.
On the floor of the movie theater? That's so nasty.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He had a jacket down there or something. So
I was quick back then, so it was over with before the
credits even started.
Yeah, you don't want no food or flesh, nothing at that point.
That's okay, baby. That was your first time, your first experience. You get to have it.
Wasn't that my first time?
That wasn't his first time.
Oh, that's right. The first time was in the field.
In the field. So,
in the field.
So.
All right, let's go. So what I was getting to, because it leads to the first part of our topic of this here therapy episode where we're therapizing the whole hour. Y'all ready?
Therapizing?
Y'all got your tissues nearby. Y'all got a stress ball or anything nearby.
Should I need a bowl of ice cream? Should I go get it real quick?
Ooh, like Sherman Klump. He was crying in the boat. You might, because I'm going to be slapping myself all across the face with this, and maybe y'all too. Q just on fire like you
my
did
face
last week.
with this.
Oh,
Gotcha.
not that. My Lord. But what I did do this week is the first part of the therapy episode, which is focused on myself. And a part of that is one of the buzzwords we hear all on social media all the time, which is self-care. And so, like, people have different self-care routines and what they look like. And do you alter your self-care routine? I know I do, depending on what stage or what season I'm in my life. What I used to do for self-care may not work, and I have to kind of think about that and figure out something else. So this week was kind of that for me. Like, usually the way I normally self-care, it wasn't working. So I had to kind of sit down and figure out, all right, how can I reground? What can I do? What will self-care look like? So now I've changed my self-care routine, and it helped a lot this weekend because I kind of had a rough mental weekend. So who want to go first? Self-care routine, share. I'm going to go last.
Really just gonna throw me out there. Okay. I'm like you. My self-care routine can change. It's not a route. I wouldn't even really call it a routine. It's just in that moment, in that time, in that space, what I feel like I need. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's going to involve some form of water. If everybody who knows me knows that I am a water baby. I am friends with every pool there is, every body of water. I am there. So for me, sometimes when I'm stressed, strained, mentally drained, a bath is going to be that thing for me. It's going to be a nice little detox bath. It may be a spiritual bath. It's going to involve some water though. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to stay there and I'm going to relax. I'm going to think. I'm going to just maybe not think. Just whatever I need in that moment, whatever I need in that space, that time, that's what I do. It may require me going to get my nails done. It may require me going to get my feet done. That's all self-care for me. Sometimes just working out. What are you laughing at?
Right.
Because my self-care.
Well, we're going to get there. Lord
Go ahead,
Jesus.
Rose.
Come on, Rose. Oh, my gosh.
But you know what?
Already.
I am going to go with there because he's right. Sometimes self-care requires a little bit of
Masturbation.
masturbation. I had to make sure the child was at the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
It requires a little masturbation. Just freeing yourself of that energy as well. That can happen. Sometimes self-care is taking down somebody's son. I mean, it just happens sometimes. That's a little bit of self-care for you as well. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Like I said, working out, meditating. Sometimes I can get up early in the morning because the kids like to sleep late. So I'll get up and I'll just go. I have no destination in mind, no nothing. Wherever I land is where I land. I think one Sunday I got up, went to it's called Stardust and Sage spiritual shop. And I had heard about it, but I was too early. Didn't recognize the chat time changing again. And I just walked the area. Walked around the neighborhood, parked, walked, and enjoyed the sights. You know, that for me was self-care. It was just something spending time with me.
I'm glad you brought that up because I guess that would be self-care for me. Every now and again, I'll go get me a Sonic Slush behind the wheel with no destination and just be driving.
Yeah.
I'll get
It's a lot of
lost
time.
on purpose.
You get lost.
Just to be like, oh, this is where this road goes. And I just be just riding.
Yes.
And then the other times I'm at home in the bed with the lotion and the towel. Going at it. Yeah.
Oh, the demonstration, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But yeah, self-care can be many forms and many things. It's just whatever you need. And
Agreed.
I take whatever I need. And like you said, driving cue. I have a thing for it. But that's also my relaxation. Is to just get in the car and drive when I'm pissed off, mad, can't figure it out. And because I end up feeling like I'm closed in. Like every room, and I'm in my own house. But every room feel like it's just closing in on me. I'll get in the car and just drive. And just drive. And by the time I get through driving, and hell, you knew how small Memphis was. So taking it at 240 looping around about 3-4 times, I was good. But gas too high for that right now. So
Right.
I'll be walking.
Right. But for me, I'm not a person that just really enjoys driving. But like I said, I'm in the season where I'm recalibrating what calms me and kind of gives me peace and clarity when I need to kind of ground. And actually driving has become one of those things. Like with me having to be up and down the highway with Malachi so much the last couple of months, me driving to Nashville or driving to Murfreesboro or driving to Dyersburg or driving to St. Louis, like all of that is like giving me a lot of peace. And I just able to kind of be in the car, put my music on or no music at all and just kind of ride. And so driving recently has become one of my ways of self-care. And like, I like going to parks that have lakes and I just like sitting out in the grass, put my feet in the grass, put my hands in the grass and just breathe in and hear, whatever buzzing around, the wind blowing. I did that yesterday. I was out there I was actually outside all day yesterday and I needed it because we're earth signs one. So we need to
get outside,
go around and be with the earth. And everybody, you brought up water. Everybody needs water when they're self-care. So real hot shower, bath, go sit by the lake, play some rain sound. On YouTube, they got all those different like rain sounds on the tin roof, on all that different kind of beach waves. All that stuff is actually really, really good.
And actually, my daughter uses those sleep meditations to go to sleep with. And I used to do them as well. I'm the one who turned on to them. I used to do them as well. They are relaxing.
I love the thunderstorms. The thunderstorms. Like I'm subscribed to one of the YouTube channels and it's like 12 hours of that. And it's everything.
The
like I
thunderstorm
love
put you to sleep every time. What a natural thunderstorm will put me to sleep. So
that's true too. That's you get the best sleep. But
man.
And then that kind of leads us to the next thing, being honest with yourself about what you need to get you back centered when you feel yourself off. Like you have to be honest with yourself. Like, what do you really need? What can you do because you can't depend on anybody else to make you happy, to ground you, to fix you. I know we like to like stress eat or go shopping or do something outside of ourselves to kind of recenter ourselves and make ourselves feel better. But that's only temporary. You really have to kind of go within to figure out what can I do that'll recenter me and give me enough peace and clarity to think something through without emotions being attached to anger, sadness, whatever reason we need to readjust and be alone. Like, you have to be honest about what you really need. It may sound crazy, but usually that first instinct, that first thought that flies in, you should do whatever. That's probably what you should be doing.
That's true. Like you said, I used to be, well, I still am sometimes. When I get stressed, shopping is my thing. But yeah, until I find me a rich sugar daddy, I had to slow that down because my wallet wasn't matching with
Agreed.
So I had to find other avenues to get over there. So now, and then I've never been. My mother is one of the biggest ones. She's a window shopper. I can't stand window shopping at all. She want to go to the store just to look around. No. If I ain't buying nothing, we ain't going in. We just not doing it. No, because I can't do that. But that's her favorite thing. I can't do it. So I had to learn to budget my money. Mm-hmm. Because me and Amazon have become super, super, super friends. And then I'm on an Amazon group. Ugh, that didn't help my damn shopping habit at all. But I just had to realize, like you said, focus and really center on what actually makes me happy. What actually, outside of spending money, makes me happy. And outside of someone else. Because in actuality, what ended up happening was certain people that used to make me happy no longer made me happy. So they no longer gave me that euphoria or that drug addiction high anymore. So it was like, okay, you're not doing it for me no more. Shopping's not doing it for me no more. My wallet can't afford the shopping. It could, but it can't afford it, but it don't. So what makes me happy? What is it that I can do? And then it just started being little things. Like I said, getting in the tub, closing off the doors, just getting away from everybody, being to myself, not doing anything. You know, that ended up being more joyful than anybody else or anything else.
Makes sense. QQ podcast to make you happy.
What makes me happy? Sitting in front of these two screens in this room right here makes me happy.
And you gave it all away once.
Ain't gonna let you lay that down.
and wasn't happy. But sitting inside this room, listening to this running water, just leave me alone.
Look at but they're running water.
That's where the busy as fuck focus comes in.
Water.
But you know what, Q?
With your lotion nearby, just in case.
Just in case. Where's it at?
Stop tormenting.
Around here somewhere.
Stop tormenting those fish. They're traumatized. They're going to need to be therapized.
When the lights is out, they go to sleep. They don't see nothing.
They see it all. But you know what? I used to have a fish tank when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. We had a fish tank and it was actually in the bedroom. That was some of the best damn sleep ever.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That was some of the best sleep ever. Having that running water right there, and it was right by the bed. Man, please, I would be knocked out. Could never wake up on time. You couldn't drag me out that bed. You couldn't drag me out the bed. Pregnant and good sleep, man. I didn't know it was the fish tank at first until I went. I think that was at her dad's house. So when I would go home, I could never sleep. So I was thinking, oh, I just want to be up under him. Nah, I went over there without his ass and slept good.
It's the fish tank.
It was the fish tank.
Well, now, Q, I'm going to come back to you since we started talking about it. When you're focusing on self and you're running through your mind why, stuff outside of you isn't working, forget what they did. What did you do, Q? Why did you give up what you love that was self-care that helped center you, which was this podcast?
Because I thought
and your fish tanks.
Because I thought that I was
happy.
I don't like drama.
Okay, I get that.
So if I get rid of the drama that this podcast was not causing, but what she thought was causing, then everything was just going to go smooth. And everything went rough as fuck.
And you had to find your way back.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, yes, when you decide to be with a person, you feel like it's your person or whatever, you have to sacrifice some stuff that's self-centered in a sense, but you have to learn how to balance what made you Q, Patria, Rosa, the individual versus what makes you a smaller part of a bigger whole, which is your relationship with this person. And it's kind of like, because I remember when I got married, I gave up everything that made me Patria, like all my like extracurricular hobbies and things that I could do on my own that brought me satisfaction and peace. I gave it all up and just focused on the relationship, but I forgot that I was still an individual within a larger collective situation. So you have to remember that you're still an individual and the relationship is a whole separate entity within the one. So you can't bring 50%. You still got to bring your whole self into this situation. And now it's creating something else. Because I think a lot of times why people lose themselves in relationships and it's so hard once it fails or whatever to come back is because you change your roots and you don't have to change your roots. You know, trees, if they're next door to each other, if they're old enough, after a while, those roots intertwine anyway. But that tree doesn't uproot itself and connect itself to the tree on the outside. Their roots just keep growing deeper and they end up connecting to one another over time.
All right.
So,
Fire.
yeah. So it's like, you know, we can't always pin it on what the other person did when we're trying to, or what the situation outside of us when we're like in self-care trying to rebalance ourselves. We have to stop and say, what did I do? Did I betray myself in this situation? Did I cut my roots off to keep me from being steady and now I'm like unstable? I can't just blame this other person for causing me to be unstable. I neglected my foundation. I gave away some of my power. Like I started looking at the top of the building instead of the bottom of the building. And so when you focus on yourself, you have to kind of stop and reevaluate your situations. We don't always want to because we try to feel like we go into everything with good intentions, but sometimes we betray ourselves and then we end up where we end up, which leads to the next question. Did that really happen to you or did your decisions lead you here?
Man, my bad decisions led me to a cluster of seven months of just, why am I here?
7 years for me.
7, when we got back together, I'm like, why am I here? And now here, why am I in this hospital? Just give me the shit. And
y'all don't see Rosa counting her fingers. Did you count the toes too? And look, I gave up. I'm like, shit. I was there for a while.
Why is my butt tingling?
Your butt tingling. That's where your body senses start.
Nope, that's where he got shot.
That's when I got shot.
That's right. That's right. My bad. I forget.
It was just, and I had to actually sit down. It was like, nigga, you caused all this.
Yep, when you canceled the podcast.
But you know what? For me, it was more of I put so much blame. Oh, you left, you did this, you did that. But when I sat down, maybe about a couple of years after blaming, I was like, you know what? I wasn't all that damn nice in this shit. I was a petty little bitch. Doop doop. Me toot that on. But yeah, I was a petty little bitch. I did some things revengeful because that's what I was. That's the type of person that I was at that time. Very revengeful, very, I'm going to get you after you get me, or I'm going to get you before you get me type person. And so, yeah, I mean, I had to go ahead and stop. Like I said, that's not, we were talking about last week. You have to turn that damn mirror on yourself and look. And when you see yourself and actually look in that mirror and see yourself,
pretty.
Oh, you can be an ugly little mom. I don't care how cute the outside look. You could be ugly as hell. You could be Freddy Krueger ugly. So
I agree.
That's what I did.
That was for me too. In my marriage, I stopped being me. Like physically, I let myself go. I wasn't staying on top of my health, my body, my hair. The way I dressed, like I got real homely and real fat real fast. And men are physical people. You know, they're more than that, and they'll love you anyway. But I mean, it's real nice to keep all their senses engaged. And for yourself, when you feel good, you just
it shows.
when you look good, you feel, and vice versa. What's on the outside can reflect on the inside. What's on the inside should reflect on the outside. Like, you should want to look your best when you feel your best. And sometimes when you don't feel your best, if you put the effort in to look your best, that may help you get back there if you're just having an off day. I know sometimes if I'm not feeling my best, I get dressed for real and put that effort in just to kind of compensate for whatever I got going on internally until it, that fixes itself a little bit. And so I gave up all of that when I was, so I wasn't allowed to look at, so no wonder you want to come home, because I was at the house eating Doritos and Oreos because they're my favorite comfort snacks. And, it sticks to me. I gain weight really fast. I lose it fast too, but I gain it real fast. So I had to stop and not just be like, woe is me, he cheated. I was like, bruh, you was not cute for a minute, like at all. Like, no. So that was my check. And so since then, I refuse to let myself go. Like, I feel myself going, I'm like, all right, turn around, let's get it back together.
Well, see, that wasn't even my case. It wasn't that I was letting myself go or nothing like that. I think I was nagging. And I was being more of as he says, I was controlling. In my head, and I still somewhat kind of halfway feel like I was on the borderline, that I was controlling, but it was like I had this thing of, and he didn't realize that I couldn't fall. I felt like if I fell, everybody was expecting me to fall regardless. And I was like, I'm not going to fall. This is going to work. This is going to happen. You just need to get in line and do what needs to be done so we don't fall. We cannot fail. Do you not see everybody looking at us? Do you not see it? So I think that's what ended up, what he meant by me being controlling. I took it as, well, you weren't doing it, so I had to make sure, and yes, I controlled it. But at the same time, that was controlling. That was controlling on his end, and I had to understand it from a different point of view of me being controlling. Now, I don't care.
Look how it turned out.
Fuck around and find out. That's what we gonna do today. We just gonna see how it go. But I couldn't. And now I'm just like,
they're going to the next one. Go ahead. How did you help yourself or get help to stop being, once you looked at your decisions and how you get to this spot? How did you change it?
Actually, research. I ain't gonna even lie. It wasn't therapy at all, because the therapist that I had, this heifer was whoa tapping on me and shit, and I was like, bitch, I don't need you touching me, first of all. Second of all, what's all this
controlling? There you go, controlling.
Baby, you don't need to touch me. All this old whoa, Sinclair James ass. No, that's not what I needed. I needed you to check me. Tell me what was wrong. But again, there goes again the type of therapist that you need. I am all for Black folks going seeing Black folks, because they can help you better in some, and even then you might have to go through a couple till you get the right fit for you. You know what I'm saying?
I did. When after me and my ex-husband split, I went to one therapist, and she was really calm, and she didn't check me. Like you said, like she kind of focused on like my sensitive side. And at the time, I was already like really emotional. I was angry. I was sad. I felt like I was lost. I felt like my life was over. I didn't know how to begin again. And she was kind of helping me stay like in that woe is me, like trying to help me place the blame for why I was where I was versus me, like checking me. So I left her alone, and I went to this other woman, and they were both Black women, and they were different. And unfortunately, I don't remember either one of their names. I went to this other therapist, and she checked me so good, I ain't like what I heard, so I stopped going. But she was right. And I remember what she said, and I didn't apply the things that she said right away. But when I was able to be like, she was right, then it did help. And I remember we did, from the old podcast, we were talking, we both said that we did like a lot of writing, and we started like working out. And that's when I like took a nosedive into all the astrology stuff for real because I wanted to learn more about me so that I wouldn't make the same mistakes over again. So that's when I started looking at, okay, who am I more compatible with? What are my other signs? What are my negative traits so that I can kind of, navigate around those and figure out my positive traits and figure out what to do because I'm a Taurus, but I have a lot of air in me. Like I have a lot of Gemini and Aquarius in my chart. And, they're not as regimented and structured like we are as Tauruses. So I had to like lean into some things when it was time to like change, adapt to change, go with the flow. I had to figure out how to lean into other parts of me so that I wouldn't make the same mistakes over and over again because I didn't want to be in anything that I was coming out of ever again. Like I wanted to change all my habits. So it was ugly undressing myself and looking at myself through all of that, but it had to be done.
Well, see, like I said, all I had to, I did a lot of writing. I did a lot of working out. Well, the reason why I worked out was not because I was trying to lose weight. It was because I was trying to gain the weight I had lost. Because, see, when I went through my down, like I said before, went from a 13, 14, thicker than a snook, and went to a damn olive oil. Because I went to a 5 in a couple of months, and it was just ridiculous. So I was just
tall
like,
for a size 5.
yeah, had me walking around here looking like a crackhead. I was like, no. But when I looked in the mirror and saw my own bones, I was like, oh, no, that ain't cute.
Think I my own bones.
My own bones. I could see them straight through my skin. I was like, nope. So I started working out. Started it slow. It was just taking a walk, taking the dogs for a walk because we had some dogs at the time. I was taking the dogs for a walk. Started doing some squats in between the walks and everything. And next thing I know, I had a whole workout regimen that I was doing, and I was feeling good. I had gained a little weight, and yeah, I like I said, I started writing, just journaling everything, writing down my feelings, and then I would go back. I waited a whole year and went back to that journal, and I was like, "Oh, you was a sad little bitch."
Cute. What did you do? I can't say a little bitch.
I'm just going to relate it to my last situation. I didn't do anything. I got shot. It was done for me.
And that's why.
Actually, it was not done for you. It was just you. The only thing that was done was it was made for you to sit your ass down, but you had to sit on your side.
I can't.
I love you, Rocco.
And that's what will happen though. Like when you're in such a place, God just kind of step in and just give you that extra jab, stab, shot in the ass to say you can't live here, you can't dwell here anymore. And
this ain't where you supposed to be.
Yeah, and you get snatched up. So Q didn't actively do the work on his own. He had to get shot and heal his body and heal his spirit at the same time in there because you didn't have a choice. And if you don't do any of what being Rosa said, you can do other things. But if you don't do anything, God will do it. And Q
he
is
will.
the witness for that.
Oh, he did.
He got shot. He was like, hey, bro,
did.
you not listening. Actually, it was me behind that gun because I was ready for the podcast to come back and I needed you to start your healing process so we could get back to here. So it was me.
Yeah.
I'm the trigger man.
But I was upset at you for having to have it go that far. Cause I don't do funerals, so I don't know. I would never saw you no more. Cause I don't do funerals. So I hate that I hated that you let it get to that point where that had to be what set you down.
I hate it too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, put you on your side.
Yeah.
I just, and then when you did, and then afterwards, I was like, okay, so is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? And then you kind of got it.
He
It took me a little minute afterward because I was just trying to figure out why. Why would she let this happen?
She didn't let you let it
It was
happen.
really, why did I let this happen?
Yeah.
And now that you get it, Q is
Because
good.
they had me in that hospital room, butt fucking naked.
Ass
I
out.
had about 6 people around me.
All fours.
Another 10 watching like it was a class going on.
Oh, dang.
They pumping my leg full of shit. It's burning. They put the catheter in. That hurt worse than the bullet.
Catheters ain't nothing to play with.
I'm butt naked. It's cold, so the shrimpage was going on. It was just, and at that point, I didn't even care that everybody was looking. I was just like, this shit hurts. This catheter hurts. This hurts.
So, and then they had you laying on your side, or was you on your
I
stomach?
was on my back.
How you
because
on
the
your
bullet,
back?
the bullet came out.
So they had you like on your side, like they were working.
They wanted me on my back.
Ooh.
So was your legs up? I mean, how they get to the bullet? I don't
Right.
understand.
The bullet came out. There was nothing to get to.
But they
So they
needed
just
to
had
see the
to-
entrance and the exit.
Just sew me up
They just
front and
sewed.
back.
So did you have to flip like a little pancake?
Yeah, I did. But I mean, I was under, so all that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so you just showing the world
Everything.
and the medical class.
Yeah.
And the
Hey.
students just like,
Mm.
nigga got shot in the ass.
They're probably like, shrimpage.
But I hope they thought it was shrimpage.
It's cold in
They
there,
don't-
people.
They don't know.
It was
they
cold
know
in
you.
there.
They don't know you.
Well,
It's cold in the hospital.
That brings us to okay. It was cold. Now, when the sun comes back out in our life and we warming up and we have healed and we ready to step back into life and deal with people, you know it's gonna come back up. The keyword triggers. So, and sometimes you don't know that you're triggered or it is a trigger until the trigger happens because you feel like you've gotten out of that, and you have. But when you're entering into something new, a relationship, friendship, whatever, and something occurs and it brings back up old feelings, how does that work? Because this new season that I've been in, I could low-key call it trigger season because there have been so many triggers that have come up that I've had to work through. Thankfully, I've been able to work through them because I'm still connected to this person. But when I say it was slapping me all in my face to the point where I couldn't breathe, couldn't come up for air to recover, it was really, 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 really real. Really real.
I can honestly say, here on April 11th, 8:54 p.m., my baby mother still triggers me.
Oh, and she will.
Yeah. That's gonna take a lot longer because you got
Triggers
more than
the
a soul tie. Y'all related to the same kids, so
Yeah.
you know that's a lot deeper.
And even when I try to be copacetic, copacetic people.
Yeah, cool, calm.
It starts cool, calm, and collect, and then oh my god,
Boom.
oh my god.
That's one trigger that you are going to have. Like you said, because you have a child with this person. So you're going
Every
to have
time
that trigger.
Every time that notification go off,
Something happening in your chest,
It's a
I'm
pit in your
triggered.
stomach.
stomach or chest. It would come from the stomach or the chest.
the chest.
Okay.
Well, no, the stomach. If I catch her out in public by accident, the chest.
Okay.
I don't know what that feeling is, but
I'm going to tell you, that one don't go away until y'all can co-parent equally and respectfully.
Well, maybe you guys
That
can help
won't-
me with that on an
I can't help
episode
you.
of We Just Talking This
I
Tourist
can't
Edition.
help you.
version
I ain't
can't.
figured it
going
out.
on.
I ain't
It's-
figured that part out
It's a
yet my
work.
damn self.
It's still a work in progress for me. 8 years later, 9 years later. My God, time is going. 9 years later, it's better, but it's still a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And because you still have to consider that everybody involved is still an individual and everybody's evolving through different seasons, and they don't necessarily mesh with whatever season the other person is in, and you just have to try to keep the child's needs first, period. But we got a whole co-parenting episode to talk about all that. We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. But
I'm still triggered a lot of times. I actually just realized, well, no, Trey, you know for a fact, I had somebody that triggered me and threw me all the way off. I mean, completely off. And I was like, I don't know how I got here. I don't
The
remember.
bra that you're not wearing. Got it.
stay focused, Q. That
That
peach
ain't-
and punch
yeah,
not
that-
even really out tonight.
Thank
Well,
you.
Peach
I
and-
put them up.
She got Peach and Punch out, but with
They
the
not out.
with
We
the
don't even
other
have
two
cleavage
things-
Can't
tonight.
even say I'm no
with the
cleavage.
other two things poking through, they have
You talking about
separate names.
Nippleopolis?
Yes.
Nippleopolis.
I stay out of Nipopolis land. Y'all make me sick.
And you keep coming back every single Monday.
I'll be here next Monday. Stay tuned. Anyway, like I said, he that person triggered me and threw me all the way off. And from that point, it was like, okay, I am trying to and still working on the balance of not allowing myself to get triggered to the point where I'm thrown off, but it's like also not being fearful to make those type of steps as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm fearful of it, then I'm missing what I need as well. But I can't allow myself to just be thrown off my game like that anymore. So it's a balance that you have to learn. You have to, be full of discernment when it comes to people and making sure that that's where you want to go with that person. Trying not to lose yourself, because losing yourself in somebody is the worst thing you can do. You have to know who you are. You have to be able to be loved for who you are.
Yep.
Not
And you
for
have to
what
love
they think you
yourself
are.
and that your self-concept for yourself. You have your self-concept is how you see yourself, like your characteristics, how you feel about those, and your self-esteem is, do I like the characteristics that I have? Like, do I like these things? And no matter if I get a negative evaluation, work, school, or from my social circle, that doesn't change how I see me.
Yeah.
And so that's a part of what that is. And when you were going through that, remember we talked about how I was like, you can't blame you. There's nothing that you could have done differently. It's not that you weren't enough. It's not you. Like it's not you in that. Like there was nothing you could have changed for him to make those decisions that he made to leave you in that spot. There was nothing you could do.
Yep. And I
You
had to
were still
figure that
enough.
out.
Yep.
I
And you
had
were
to
enough.
figure that out, and it took me a minute. And then, because we as women always hear, and I know some men, well, let me just say men and women hear this excuse. It wasn't you. It was me.
Mm-hmm. And that's true.
And you be like, okay.
Well, I just used to use that as a way to soften the blow to
Right. But,
Yeah,
but
it might be a
low-key,
lie.
after
but
I
at the
got
same
what I
time, it's
wanted.
still the truth.
It's really the truth, because it's not you. I just want to move this way, and it may be another person involved with
It's
the other
truth
move in their
for
way. It's
people
like,
who
is
not
you?
running game.
Well, it's not
That
you,
is
it's me,
game.
because it's not you, because it's not you. Like,
'Cause
you're
I
not
didn't
my
do
choice.
anything.
I choose you. You know what I'm saying? Or and people, they treat you how they treat themselves in this sense, and there's nothing. You could be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still not enough. And you have to know that, okay, it's not enough for them, but I'm enough for me, and I'm going to be enough for the person that wants me to be enough for them, because none of us are perfect and we have shortcomings. But like I tell people, your issues ain't no issue for me. Like I can roll with it. Like, your crazy is my kind of crazy. Like, I can subscribe to your type of crazy. Because everybody has
Like
crazy.
you should be subscribing to We Just Talking This.
Yeah, subscribe to
Torch
those
Edition.
kind of crazy for sure. I'm gonna be
crazy.
I'm gonna probably be more transparent than I've ever been in my life in public, where I can't control who gonna hear this. Trigger for me, y'all, holidays and birthdays with friends and my significant other are triggers for me so bad, especially my birthday. Because, okay, y'all know I was the only child, right? And so when I was younger, my mom would throw these birthday parties for me and nobody would come. Like, my cousins and stuff, they wouldn't come. So we would have all these decorations and these cakes and all this stuff, and like 2 people would come. And it was so rough. So I didn't want to have birthday parties anymore. I would rather like go somewhere and maybe take 1 or 2 people with me and just kind of enjoy whatever was there when I got to where I was going, to like a carnival or to the mall or to the like something like that. But I stopped specifically wanting to have birthday parties because I was always afraid that no one would ever show up. So I had my grandma and my daddy forced me to have a Sweet 16 party, and it actually ended up being really good. But none of the people that I invited showed up. It was like a gumbo of like people just showing up, like my mama's friends, kids, my daddy's, my random like cousin that happened to be in town and brought some people. So it ended up being a whole lot of people, but it wasn't
not your people.
Yeah, it wasn't the people that I really invited to come. Maybe it was like 30 people there, and maybe 5 or 6 of the people that showed up were people that I literally invited. Everybody else, they didn't show up. So after age 16, do y'all know the next time I had a birthday party? I was 30. I was afraid to have birthdays because it triggered me so bad when my birthday came up, because there was not going to be anybody to show up to celebrate with me. And so when I turned 30, I did a week full of stuff that week, and everybody showed up. And it was like, wow, okay, like I can have birthday parties now. And even with my ex-husband, he didn't do nothing. He didn't make me feel special on anywhere ever. No holiday ever. Valentine's Day, anniversary, birthday, nothing. Y'all know the first time my significant other made me feel special on a birthday? Last year.
Last year?
Yep.
Last
year. Because we talked about that last year. So,
that's
sis be me, me is sis. Birthdays, holidays, major trigger. Like I shut down and cry like almost every holiday. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I really do.
I do, but it's not for that reason. It's just holidays are rough because I don't have the family dynamic that I would love to have for that type of thing.
Me too.
But I think my major trigger is anybody when you tell me you love me.
That's a trigger for you?
It's a trigger for me. Because to me, when people, especially a man telling me that he loves me, it's because I equate him telling he loves me with him leaving.
Oh, that's heavy. Oh,
and
we're gonna have a personal session about this. Like, oh,
I mean, because not just leaving as in he's going to leave me. I mean, leaving as in dying, leaving as in just leaving. Because as a young child, the last words I heard my grandfather, who was my pride and joy, tell me was he loved me, and the next day he died.
Oof. That's heavy.
From then on, anytime somebody tells me they love me, I equate that with them leaving.
Oof.
So so when somebody tells me they love me, I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna leave me. So I'm trying to cram. I'm trying to cram so much into them to show them that I love them. I'm trying to cram so much into the time that I have.
And then does that end up pushing them away? Because it feels like you love bombing them.
Feels like I'm loving them.
So you know what you got to start doing when the next man tells you I love you, you're gonna have to have that conversation right then. And you may still end up love bombing, but they need to understand your why behind it.
I didn't even know that that's what it was.
Well, now you know.
Until we decided to do this.
Q, don't be pushing the mic back.
Bring your ass back here.
I mean, I'm just here. I'm listening.
But you need to tell us what your trigger is. Well, you said your baby mom. We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it at that.
He looking at us like, wow.
Yeah, like he just met us.
Because, but he is meeting us. Because this is some stuff we've never discussed. And we both know that Q actually really loves us as friends. So it's doing something. I'm looking at him. It's doing something to him. He feels some type of way.
But I'm not I don't love you, Rosa, because I'm not. So you don't have to worry about me leave. All right.
I love you too. We ain't going nowhere.
Y'all love me. Y'all love me. I know you do. Like I said, it's a trigger for me, but it's just like.
That's why I'm saying when the next man that comes into your life and he tells you that he loves you, you're going to have that conversation. Be like, I'm not love bombing you to push you away because you said I love you. Like, you're not changing the dynamic. That's just, he's going to have to be patient, and maybe he'll intuitively know how to kind of heal that, because I've had a lot of other mini triggers as I've been building whatever I'm building with who I'm dealing with now. And some stuff he's intuitively just kind of healed. There was a trigger, and he got a sixth sense because he can tell when he's triggered me. And I don't even realize it until he be like, did I just make you feel some type of way? And I go, no. And then I go like, you know what? You did. And we would talk about it. We'll talk about it. And then we can go on to the next thing. And so it's made it a lot easier. And it's helped for me to like identify some triggers that I didn't even realize I had from past stuff and move forward and understand myself better and help him understand me and so forth and so on. But it's hard. It's awkward. But it has to be done. Because sometimes you don't know it's a trigger until you trigger it. And you can't clam up and shut down and act from a place where the person that triggers you don't know that they've done it. You have to kind of be strong enough and have enough courage to be like, man, that made me feel some type of way. And I thought I was past that, but I'm not. And so let's help me unpack this. If you're willing to help me unpack this so that when it happens again, it don't bother me in that way no more. Or they know not to do that anymore. If they care about you.
How you going to tell somebody don't tell me you love me and they love you? I mean,
yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
It's
that's
something I have to work on. And I know. And I did one of those love language tests. And words of affirmation was like the third, I think. My third. Physical touch was first.
Okay.
Words, I know acts of service or something was kind of like the third or fourth one.
What was number one?
Physical touch. You got to touch me.
Number one.
You got to hold me. You got to caress me. You got to touch me. You got to kiss me. You got to, to me, that's how you show me love.
2. That's number 2 for me. Q, have you done a love language quiz?
No,
I need to sing. Okay, well, I'm going to send you a link when we get off so you can do one.
Send me the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first one is time. My first one is time. My second one is touch. My third one is words of affirmation.
Okay, so my first one was physical touch. My second one was words of affirmation. And my third one was receiving gifts, which I was shocked. And then quality time. To me, I think quality time actually should be before receiving gifts. Because if you could spend your time with me, yeah.
Yeah, quality time was number 1.
Nothing.
Gifts was number 5, and acts of service was number 4. One, because if quality time is number 1 and you're giving me time, then I'm getting gifts and money and acts of service anyway because we're together. We're together. So time is definitely number 1 for me because, you know, I give you time to see what you want to do, so I know what you rather do. And
see, I'm the type of person, like I knew physical touch was going to be my first because I'm cool with just laying up under you. I'm cool with you just hugging me. I like if I'm in the kitchen, you coming up from behind and hugging me. You know what I'm saying? Smacking me on my ass as I walk by. I might be, boy, stop. Yeah, do it again. But, you know, I enjoy that. I enjoy kissing. I enjoy just being held. So I knew that was going to be first. But, you know, so that's why I said when I realized that words of affirmation, but then I was like, okay, how can that be when I can't? Telling me you love me triggers.
We're going to have a whole other session after that. We're going to talk. We got to make some time this week. Me and you, we're going to talk about that offline for real.
Okay.
And then the last
subject somebody suggested this and I thought it was good.
Yep. Shout out to Dee Dee. I appreciate you, girl. She going to listen. She listen every week. That was from Dee Dee. That's my homegirl, Dee Dee. Mending relationships and friendships. Can you? Because those are triggers. How do you enter new friendships with people when you've been burned in the past? Can you mend a friendship or relationship with the person that you've been involved with prior to? Like, how do you approach that if you falling out with somebody, romantic or otherwise? How do you, you?
It just depends on what it was that broke it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It depends on that. It also depends on the people involved. Or both parties have to be willing to want to even mend it. Mm-hmm. You know, to even be applicable in this whole situation where you're going to be able to be, you know, cordial to each other and not just be holding on to that pent up ass ugly ass energy. Now, what we did say is we got to understand grieving friendships can be harder than grieving relationships.
Absolutely.
Because in that friendship, you gave just as much trust, if not more, into that friendship than you did in your relationship. Because that friend probably knows some stuff your partner didn't even know about.
Which is why your partner should be your friend first.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, you
That
are
is very
absolutely
true.
right.
They should
Fire.
Yes.
God damn it, fire.
They should
People
be
in
your
these microwave
friend.
relationships just be ready to
Well, we
jump
need to. Can we put that back in the topic thing? Let's bring the microwave relationship.
We
thing
talked about
back.
that in what?
fucking
The first
Good.
series of the
season.
pod. Yep. That was like episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
It might have been close to the
Easy
last.
Mac.
Yeah.
Just
What you
add
said,
water.
the popcorn relationship.
Well, even with popcorn friendships, they do it with friendships. Think about it, you see people on social media and they kicking it with this one group. Then all of a sudden now they kicking it with a whole other
another
group. And now this girl is your bestie or this dude is your, your
you see
main
that all the
dude.
time.
How many-
They got about
It's
50
like, how?
besties.
I don't
They got about
understand
50 besties.
how-
I don't understand it.
That's why I
Oh.
don't understand the best friend. How can you have so many best friends? My logic is best. One. The best out of all.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
One.
I can speak to that.
One, damn it.
Hold on.
I have
you got a
two
best friend that's for
female
this
best
and a
friends.
best friend for
Oh,
that.
my
But
God.
these folks got I'm with Q on it. I'm with Q. Can't
I
have
got
number
two
one.
best friends for this and that. 2 female best friends. And it also goes into what we're talking about in mending friendships because one of my best friends, we fell out for a little while when my other best friend walked into my life. And it wasn't directly because the new person who ended up becoming my best friend walked into my life. It was because of the circumstances of the seasons that we were all in. So my best friend, and we're best, like once we fell out, we never stopped communicating completely, but the dynamic of our friendship, we weren't best friends anymore. We became like associates for a while and we were still in touch, but it wasn't the same. Actually, she and I share a birthday. We have the identical birthday and we didn't even find it out till after we got cool. But when we kind of fell out, it was around the time where I'd gotten through the heavy healing process of my divorce and I was on to some new things. And she was entering into a darker season in her life. And I was trying to be there for her, let her vent, give her space to vent, try to throw some advice out. But everything that I was saying to her, she was kind of attacking me and not hearing me. And I couldn't reach her. And then I realized I didn't have the emotional wherewithal to go through the trenches with her because I was just coming out of my own stuff and I couldn't go back into that darkness in that place with her. And nothing that I was saying was helping her or making her feel better. So I couldn't do anything. And so she felt like I abandoned her. Because once we came back a couple of years later and had the conversation, she felt like I abandoned her. And I told her, you have to understand what I
Church
just
finger.
come out of. What's up?
The people need to understand when they get ready to share their trauma, you need to see if the person you're sharing it with is ready.
Has
mentally
capacity to take it.
to take all that.
Y'all
Put
know
the
that's my
fire.
favorite thing.
Yep.
Baby.
Come on, Q.
Woo! Got to do the church
you
dance
need
with it.
to know
You
if
just
that
dropped a
person
good gem right there.
is even ready to receive all that onto
Yep.
them.
Your first
Or
question
you just start
is
just dropping the bomb.
pouring all that negativity over there. No.
I thought you
I
said
have another
porn.
friend, a
Lord,
male best friend.
Morning.
Get your head.
I have another friend, one of my male best friends, when he calls and he wants to unload, he'll ask, can you take this? Do you have capacity to hear
me.
this for me? Like,
That's me.
Yeah, Rosa, you do that. When you call, if I text, you be like, can you handle this? Or do I like, no, I got space for it, lay it on me. And you have to respect, like it's one to want somebody to vent, but you do have to ask, hey, are you able to take on what I need to?
Because you don't know
then
what,
I'll be able
what-
to.
You don't know what mental space they in that day.
Right.
You just
And I
not
wasn't in
calling.
the space to do that. And once we came back and talked about it a few years later, she was like, I understood what you meant. And you're right. I was wrong for trying to put that on you when I know that what you had just come out of. And then the person that became my best friend after she and I fell out, we were actually on very similar paths. She too was coming out of a divorce, a really hard, messy divorce, and we were both kind of in the same space and we grew together.
So
Me
y'all
and the first best
bonded
friend, we
off of
bonded.
trauma. Come on now.
It wasn't trauma.
really was a trauma bond. It was more of a spiritual bond,
It was on
wasn't it?
healing. Yeah, because we were out of the trauma. We just went through very
So an
similar
emotional
trauma.
bond.
Yeah, very. Actually, it was a Beyonce bond,
But
and so
if
we
you-
have
if-
matching tattoos with the the Beyonce album with Drunken Love and stuff on it.
Uh-huh.
We met at work, and our supervisors thought because our personalities were really strong that we would clash and we wouldn't get along. So they thought that it would be a quiet, productive area if she and I sat next to each other. And Beyonce album came out with Drunken Love, and we bonded on learning all the lyrics to the song. We actually have the tattoo, and it's 12/13/13, which is actually the release date of that album. And we bonded off of that and talking about people's shoes when they walk by our desk.
Beehive fan. I tell
And we are definitely yourself in the hive. Don't say nothing.
What?
Don't come. Don't come. Don't come. And so now, thankfully, I'm in a place where I have both of them in my life.
I always come.
I got my bee right here.
Look, I got both of them in my life now. They can blend in and they hop on me, check me, talk crazy to me. They show up to the kids' birthday parties. Actually, each one of them are godmamas to one of my kids. So my kids have their own set of godparents. So my first best friend, she's Malachi's godparent because she was with Malachi when he was born, babysitting him all the way up. And my newer best friend, she's Micah's godmom because she was around more when Michael was smaller and came up. And so, like when my aunt died, they came and sit up front to take care of the kids while I was laying out in the pew. So they have cross-pollinated. Like I said on the What About Your Friends episode, it's cross-pollination going on now.
Well, see, I had to recently go through my grieving period for my friendships. You know, so I have a very recent one.
You were grieving a relationship and friendship at the same time. I love you so much. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, kind of.
And you moved on top of it.
I don't love you. I don't love you because remember, I'm not going. I don't love you.
You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. I know you're not going nowhere. But yeah, I did. I grieved the friendships. I grieved relationships. I had to grieve all my connections, but I did grieve my friendships a little bit harder. And I actually was telling a friend of mine about it, and he was like, man, don't worry about that. That ain't nothing. This, don't worry about them. They lost out this and the third. And I told him, I said, it's not that hard. It's not that it's hard, but it's not that easy for me to say that. I said, because actually I am grieving it right now. And I said, and I'm allowed to. I said, I am going to grieve it. I'm going to get through it. And then I'm going to move on from it. I said, it's just going to take some time. I said, because these were people that were in my life. For a long time. And they were your safe space when your relationships were going bad too. Yeah. They were my safe space. They were it was as toxic as it was, but they were my safe space. They were my spots. And for it to turn around and, when I'm thinking it, hey, I'm making this great move for my life and they're not there for their journey. And that's kind of hard to be like, damn, I got some people that's not going to take this journey with me.
That's all right. God always slide through with the upgrade.
Oh, he do. And I can't wait.
And the higher you go up, snakes can't handle high altitudes. They die when they get up. Everybody can't breathe up there. The air ain't the same up there. So the higher you go, folks gonna fall off. And you will meet folks that's right up with you. Q slid in our DMs.
Man.
And now we friends all these years later. And what we do, me and Rosa got the same tattoo artist. Wait, time out. Real life. Me and Rosa got the same tattoo artist. We at the same wax lady. And your tribe will find you. We got so many mutual friends.
She knows what both of y'all vaginas look like.
She does.
We just talking this.
She does. And she takes care of us and we take care of her. And we take care of her because we be her little therapist at times.
Yes, we do. She be sick of both of us and we be right. And we younger than her.
Yep. Look, it's been so many times I be like, why you on my cousin post? This your cousin, this my friend. Yeah, that's mine. That's mine. This is mine.
So your tribe will find you. So don't worry, your new tribe is finding you. You just keep going.
Well, I got to get out the house for them to find me. I don't be leaving the house.
Go outside.
Look, because I've been thinking, our birthdays are coming up and I ain't got shit to do.
I had to make sure I had y'all days right. Cinco de Mayo, Rosa's Day. And Q is on Mother's Day this year, May 8th. And then I'm a week later on the 15th.
I'm just constantly like, I have nothing to do. This is the first year I'm not throwing, as they like to used to call, the production.
It's okay. This is like that. I'm not going to do a lot either this year. But
ain't doing nothing.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Ain't
doing nothing. I said next year, though, I will be doing something. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to chill out. Because I planned on for
this your therapy 50th, year.
My 50th? Hey!
How long we got? Four more years. 4 more years. Okay.
And look, baby girl will be graduating high school. yeah, I'm gonna be hitting somebody's country. I'm gonna be on somebody's plane for like 2 months. I'm gonna be gone.
Somebody's dick. Get it?
Yes.
Writing it.
I want to join that club. What's the club in the air? What's the club?
Mile High Club.
Mile High Club.
Club.
I want to join that club.
I don't
ain't
think it's
even gonna
that
lie to
easy
you.
no more. It ain't that easy. You can go to jail for that now.
Dang. We're gonna figure it out. Some gonna be penetrated in the air.
Look, get a back row seat like you on the school bus.
I'm gonna have some kind of orgasm in the air.
Man.
It's gonna happen. Well,
hey,
that
but
was
you know
our
what?
therapy
It's
episode.
easier on those international flights.
That was our therapy episode. Oh, well, yeah, because you can sleep on there and do all of that. So I therapized y'all a little bit. Q, we probably gonna have to do a therapy episode part 2 because we had to edit some stuff. We'll figure out how to fit it in or somewhere else. But I'm excited about next week's episode. Q, you want to tell the people what's next week's episode? The dating,
the
dating pool
has fucking pee
And toxic
in it.
waste.
toxic waste. Ooh, that's real good.
Yes, dating pool has pee and
in
toxic
it.
waist.
Sick of you motherfuckers just out here just
Doing what you want to do,
I'm not
saying
even
what you want to
start.
say.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep.
Gotta
I ain't even finna start.
gotta have a whole damn scrub down when you get out there.
Oh
damn
my
thing.
Lord.
Just scrub.
Well, y'all,
Some tetanus shots.
this is
Or vaccinations.
this has been episode 8, the therapy episode on We Just Talking Ish. I'm Patria. We got Q. We got Rosa. We thank you for hanging out. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on all the social media platforms. We appreciate all of the feedback, all of the 5-star reviews, all the 5-star text messages. Keep them coming. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got chapters now, so if you want to go back and let your friend hear just a part, now you got the time stamp to know. Go here. So it's no excuses. Come get your life with us once a week, or go
Come
back and
get
play
your
us twice.
life.
Come get your life.
Because we giving life over
Give
here.
life.
We're birthing life.
And fire. Fire.
Fire.
So, Q, you gonna go ahead and say it so we can say it right?
Yep. Come on.
Oh. Well, y'all said everything that needs to be said. So this is We Just Talking Ish Torch Edition version 2.0.
Oh.
Just bear with us, people. We getting through this season. Just bear with us. Thank y'all. Until next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. We love you. Thank you for coming.